All right, welcome everybody. My name is Fausto from Cybertrade University, and I got a great guest. I'm looking so forward to have Jesus here from TradeStation. TradeStation, are you there, Jesus? I saw that. Are you there? Looks like your video just dropped out. There you go.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, okay, good. So anyway, looking forward to having him here. We've got so many good things we're going to talk about with him regarding about his experience at TradeStation. His journey there, and basically some of the good things that we've been doing so much with TradeStation. So say
Yeah.
thanks for coming here. And once again, probably one of the longest running, employees at TradeStation. How long you been there for almost?
It's been 24 years, so it's been a long time. Sometimes a little bit too long.
Let me tell you, the good thing is you look exactly the same. I mean, other than you got a little gray in the beard, but other than that, you look great.
Very kind, very kind. A little bit of white hair and here and there, yes. But
yeah, I know I got my white hair. Look at me. I'm like, I'm actually freaking out because I started losing my hair. I'm like, people are like, you're not losing your hair. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, listen, you saw some of my old pictures.
I've been there and done that already. So
yeah.
Well, first of all, my internet is kind of having issues, with the storms here in Houston last couple of weeks. It hasn't gotten to where it was before. So I may just have little hiccups here and there on the internet. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up.
That's right. You're down in Texas, right? You left. I mean, you were from the plantations in Florida. When did you move down to Texas?
3 years ago. 3 years ago. Yes, I have a small daughter, and I wanted to get away from all the partying and all the tourist areas. So I wanted to get a more laid back residential area here in Houston.
And you're in Austin, is it?
Houston.
You're in Houston.
Yes.
Houston, yeah. I used to have a radio show. We used to go down to Houston all the time. We were at Houston. We did events with you guys at TradeStation. We were from Houston to Dallas to Fort Worth. It's just we did those events, and I had the radio show down there. I love the people in Houston. I think you have a great time. Yeah. Other than it's pretty hot there, right?
Oh yeah, this time of the year is not fun at all. Well, we get to use the pool a lot, but not fun. Yeah, we used to have an office. I'm not sure if you remember. We used to have an office in Richardson, Texas, like in the Dallas area. But since the pandemic, I think everyone's just working from home, and it's been tough, to work from home. I've been doing it for the past 4 years.
All right.
But it's last time I visited an office was about maybe a couple of weeks ago that I got to travel to Costa Rica. But that's it. I don't get to see anybody anymore.
That happened here in New York too. I mean, which is crazy because same thing with us. It's pandemic. I signed a new lease when we had our office. I had an office for the past 30 years. And then my employees just ended up living in Long Island and New York, some of them down Florida, some in Tennessee. And it's just that's the big thing, what changed and what you're doing, like you moved. Now we could do things remote, but it all has to do about having good employees. I mean, like when you have somebody around you for a long time, they just know what's going on. I know it's kind of difficult to sign people up, new employees in the beginning. And I think that's the issue. But when it comes down to, what you're doing, knowing being there for so long, pretty much you're an oil machine. You know exactly what you've done. Which, by the way, I want to lead to it. What kept you in TradeStation for so long? 25 years. I mean, what's about your journey about going in TradeStation? I mean,
well, TradeStation. I mean, you can see that TradeStation has treated me well, so that's one of the main things. So you always want to steer towards the people that treat you well and you have fun with. So TradeStation has always been a fun job. I like connecting with people, like educating people. So TradeStation gives me that opportunity to just be online teaching about TradeStation technology, some trading principles. So it's a job that I enjoy a lot. So I've never considered, switching or looking for another job. Maybe sometimes I have, but it's been a great experience and a long learning journey. I was really young when I joined TradeStation back in 1999, and things have changed immensely since then. So it's been all a learning experience.
Well, I mean, like I always kind of ask people this. I mean, like, what did you go to school for, and how did you end up being a TradeStation? I mean, listen, I was a landscape architect, and then my dad told me, you can't make money being a landscape architect. But well, why'd you do it? He goes, listen, just do your own house. Once you enjoyed it, you helped me move the lawnmower and everything like that. But what was your major, and how did you get in there?
it's so interesting because sometimes what you study is not really what you end up doing. But I studied advertising, to tell you the truth, and it was nothing related to finance or trading. But I did know one person in Venezuela, because this is back in Venezuela when I used to live over there. I actually did university in Venezuela, and I met somebody that was a great relationship back then, and she used to work for TradeStation. So once I moved over to the States, I kind of reached out to her and say, hey, are there any job opportunities or something like that? And I started as a temp at TradeStation in 1999 in the marketing department. Very tedious job. They gave me a big stack of papers and trying to fix account records. But it was the beginning of my TradeStation journey back in 1999, and that's how I got connected with this company. Yes.
And has anything changed ever since? Like, I mean,
Oh,
from the beginning till now, like,
yeah,
what has
yeah.
typically been?
I've been in so many different departments at TradeStation. Started with marketing, but then when we moved over to international resellers. I'm not sure if the crowd here is aware of what TradeStation did in the past, but we were just a software company. We were not a broker. So when I started with TradeStation, they were selling TradeStation platform as a software package
Mhm.
on CDs, and I was in the department where I was managing international resellers because we had these, of course, resellers abroad, and they used to sell TradeStation platform to their clients. And I was managing that part of TradeStation, but um, nothing in the horizon said that we were going to become a broker. It wasn't until 2001 when that change came about, and of course, it was a huge change for everyone, because I tend to be more on the technical side, but having to learn all the financial side of a broker was a learning experience, and very enjoyable too. Having to get my licenses and being able to connect with clients in that at that level was really good.
Well, being that and going back and forth, like from different departments and stuff like that, what was like you now regarding about your experience? What did you experience about these traders? Because we have a lot of traders that are listening, and a
Mm,
lot of them do have accounts with TradeStation or considering TradeStation or have an account with other people. But like
yeah,
you being there for so long, what was your most memorable experiences of like problems that traders
yeah,
had from going from department to department that you had to kind of evolve to?
yeah. It's funny because I mean, now when I talk to clients, they're all the clients that I get to talk to, they're all happy about TradeStation and they enjoy all the new features, and I show them how to discover fun things on TradeStation. It's all happy and dandy. But when I used to work in client services, most of the time, clients that call TradeStations because they have an issue, they have a problem, their platform is not working, they're losing money, and at the same time they're all stressed out and they're yelling at you. So it's a totally
Like a
different
girl boss.
experience. Yes, exactly. So I did, 10 years of that on the phones, and I supported clients and I helped them with their trade stations and, placing orders and, hey, let's do this way. Let's find a workaround. So I learned how to resolve the issues at TradeStation very quickly, and that led me to where I'm at right now. But those years of supporting clients were really nice because I was able to help them resolve problems. Sometimes of course, I couldn't, and it was very frustrating, not only to them but also for me. But sometimes you can't do anything if the market if there's a market outage or an internet outage. There's very little you can do. But yeah, I mean those are times that are is what built me to what I'm at right now.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I like wanted everyone to hear as being as a trader. Like, what are some of the trading tips so they don't have that issue? I mean, like, listen, me, like you just mentioned earlier, you've been having issues with the internet because of the weather, and some people like I just tell my tip, just don't trade. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Don't. But like, what do you recommend if any trading tips that you found, like people common mistakes that they make?
Well, always have a backup. I think it's very important as a trader. If trader is your livelihood, then you should have a backup. In case something happens. If I mean, there's little you can do if the power goes out. If you have no power, then of course you can have a generator and stuff and get electricity in your home. But then most likely, if the power's out in your community, then you have no internet. But I mean, there's some problems that you can't really escape. But for the normal problems, I mean, always have a backup. Always, be familiar with the mobile app. I say, well, if you lose internet at home, then you have a way of connecting to your trade station account on the mobile device. And that's a way, to keep an eye on your trades, keep an eye on your orders. Also, one thing that I recommend everyone is to um, place trades on the simulator just to get a handle on the technology. A lot of times, if you don't really handle the technology well, you may feel frustrated when placing trades. You may not know all the tips and tricks you can do when placing a trade, and the simulator is there for you to test all those features. And I know that one of the things you teach, Fausto, is that you probably should avoid the trading simulator. I think one of the things you say is that you should trade small amounts, at least something, but on a live account, so that you can really, have
You're a
all
good
the.
listener.
Yeah, yeah. I remember. But the
Share
simulators
one
were,
share, Colin. I just
yeah,
want
just
one
one
share.
share, one contract, yes. But I always say, if you're in the testing phase, the simulator is a way for you to test the functionality. But yeah, if you're starting to trade, then there's no more better experience than just getting yourself in a live account and putting in live trades. Yes.
Yeah. Well, what I also tell everybody too is this, that you're going to lose in trading. I mean,
Yeah.
it's part of the
Sure.
game. I mean, like, you're driving a bicycle, or you drive a car, you're gonna get to an accident at one point. You just got to know how to deal with it. Got to be protected.
Yeah.
So I always teach everyone, you got to learn how to lose first before you can win, because it's a
Yeah.
part of the game. So just don't worry about winning. Winnings take care of themselves. The losers you got to worry about, and you're better off doing it with one share than doing it with 1,000 shares. And that's
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
and then you got to analyze what you're doing. So that's where it comes about doing it. But that's
Mhm.
good. But with everything going on with, as in that part, how is TradeStation dealing with everything that's going globally? Like, how are they evolving? Because I was just at your TradeStation event yesterday, which, by the way, I got a nice little book.
Oh,
Everyone, they gave me a nice little book for TradeStation with a nice little pen. Thank you very
nice.
much, Mr. TradeStation. I met you, CEO John there.
Mhm.
Great CEO. Had a great conversation. We did a nice little. I wish you were there. It was great. So we had a
Yeah,
nice little.
they're
Yeah.
treating you nicer than I am.
My God. Like, it was beautiful. I mean, I'm looking forward, because a lot of listeners here don't realize that when you're a TradeStation client, they're doing this whole big thing with their concierge service, and they're going to be inviting a lot of the traders when they come into your town to do these events. But just let everybody know, we had a 5-star dinner at the World Trade Center, the One Trade Center. We were at the observatory up on top. We were at the
Yeah,
110th floor up there, 101th floor, whatever it was, which is beautiful. I had
nice.
some pictures. I wish I could show them on my phone, but yeah, it was just a great dinner. It was a great
Glad,
presentation.
yes.
Hope I'm not getting you jealous.
Yeah.
Met all the staff there, from your Chicago staff and
Mhm.
everyone else. But yeah, these are things that TradeStation's working, and I want everybody to know that listen, these are benefits that you get. But tell me a little bit about the concierge service, because I was very, very impressed
Yeah.
about that.
I don't do a lot with concierge. I know there's a dedicated team for that is doing a concierge type of service. So it's a way of making sure that the clients that are, you know, pillars for the trade station business are treated in a special way. We wanted to make sure that we reward our clients that in that way, and that's why we created this concierge service. Many clients will fall inside of that category. We have a team that is dedicated to contacting and helping them throughout their trade station journey. At one point, I started contacting also people that were classified as concierge at one point from the education side, because we want to make sure that not only you get your issues resolved on client services and your technical support, but also that you have access to learning resources that you probably need in your learning. So very excited about that program, and it's been very successful. So it's great that they talked about it yesterday too.
No,
So
they did. And you know what? I don't think people here realize it, but like I train for brokerage firms all across the industry. And one thing I was to bring up to TradeStation, I was talking to your staff about. I was talking to Charles from
mhm,
Chicago, and I spoke to Adam. And that you guys are like the last Mohegans of direct access. I mean,
mhm,
like, there's
mhm,
not that many people out there, and everybody always wants things that are cheap. And I'm like, cheap is not what you want. I mean,
mhm.
you just want great service.
Yeah.
What is Delta One? What is, why is people want to get status, on an airline, whatever? This is what you get. Like, call Robinhood. Who answers the phone? Nobody answers. I mean, who are you calling? You know what I mean? Like, well, I like their app. It's not the same. And that's one of the reasons why I'm such a huge fan of your product. And that's why we showcase it in our trading room, is because, like with everything else, I mean, like the matrix, and people don't realize, they neglect. They're like, I don't know what that is. And and they see it, because I'm an order flow guy. That's what I kind of teach you how to trade the order flow. But you got so many great features on it. And just adding that one component that people want, it's just, I think that, what do you pay an extra $2 for a ticket? Big deal. You know what I mean? Whatever it is. I mean, you race pretty much flawless compared to everyone else. But like, these are the things that you get, which I really, really liked. And I think that's what I talk about.
I totally agree with you. It's all a level of service, and that's where businesses differentiate them from others. It's really tough to reinvent the wheel. I mean, everything, it's out there already. And the way that you are going to make a difference is by providing higher level service. And that's also very noticeable in the restaurant industry. Of course, you can get a sandwich everywhere, but if you get a gourmet sandwich at a place where they pamper you, even if you have to pay more, of course, you're going to choose that place because of that, the service level. So I totally agree with you.
Yeah, listen, don't bring food into this, because I'm a foodie myself.
You're a big foodie, right?
Oh my God! I mean, that's all. Living in New York, I was told that was like probably like half my conversations with everyone down there at the event. But you're right. Like, listen, you could have the greatest meal, the food, but if the service sucks, you're not going to go back. It's like, yeah, it was good, I did it, but you can go to a place like the food, be like, it's okay, but the service, they cater you. You're going to go back more to that person, and naturally it has to do it, which leads me to that other question. And so, where do you see TradeStation in the next 3 to 5 years? Because someone like, listen, when you have a client, they're not looking to move. I mean, like, I have traders I train, and they're like, I don't really want to open up an account somewhere else. I'm happy, but where do you see yourself where TradeStation's going moving forward?
TradeStation is doing a lot of overhauling. I think everyone here knows that TradeStation has been in the industry for over 40 years, and the TradeStation desktop is the flagship product. But it's old fashioned. It's becoming I don't want to call it rusty, but it's a software that's been in development for the past 40 years, and it uses some language that probably needs to be modernized. Some of the tools probably need to be modernized. So rather than reinventing the wheel, as I said earlier, we are trying to polish and bring everything up to modern technology so that we can provide the best support and the best service. So it's not about creating a new shiny thing that we can just attract people with, but making sure that what we have is the best that we can offer our clients.
Well, it's funny you bring that up, because that leads me to my next question regarding some of the things that came up at that event, which I'm just so great that we're doing this today. And I was there yesterday, and not the opposite. But one of the things that there was a lot of people there were a lot of developers and you have programmers, and I always kind of ask like open source part of it and stuff like that. One thing I noticed that you guys are planning on doing, they were talking about, is that you're going to get away a little bit more from the desktop version, and you're going to be doing more of a web-based version. I think, if I heard correctly, is that right?
Yeah, we are. Yes, I think we're trying to find a platform that is a good replacement to, and I use the word replacement lightly, because maybe there's no replacement to the platform yet, but at least a product that is modern enough so that it can be used anywhere. I know that there's some limitations on the desktop, like, for example, you can't use it on a Mac, and we want to make sure that we can offer a product that is powerful, that is quick, that is robust, that clients can jump on and do what they want to do without, all the complexities that sometimes,
Oh, there we go. There you go. We're back.
So yeah, the idea is to provide. Are we on?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are.
Okay. So the idea is to bring a product for that purpose, so that it has a very light learning curve. People can jump on it and trade very quickly, and is robust, fast, and comparable to the TradeStation desktop.
So how did everybody like? I mean, listen, there's a lot of people you know, just being in that department. You always get these people like asking about the open source part. But could I help with the snap? How do you deal with the feedback? Like, or how did they get back to you with developers? Because like I bumped into Antonio. I know Antonio forever too. Was back there too. Great member of your staff too. How you been dealing with that with the developers?
Um,
And the feedback that comes in.
you mean the developers, the TradeStation developers, or
No, no,
outside
no, like
third-party
just people
developers
like
that?
ordinary people that just use the platform,
Mhm.
and want to give you feedback on, like, hey, could I do this? Could I do that? I mean, like, do you accept all the feedback that
Oh,
you get from people and
oh,
implement
sure.
it, or
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Recently, we've added a feature from within the platform where you can just provide feedback. A lot of that feedback goes to not to the developer, but to the product manager. The product manager is the person that actually decides what's going to be part of the TradeStation product. The developer or the engineer pretty much follows instructions from the product manager and builds the tools. So, but you do have a direct communication to product managers. And I'm the firm believer that the more requests the product manager receives regarding a particular feature, then the more priority it gets on the list of things that are going to be implemented on the software. So we do encourage everyone to communicate with us. Use the feedback tool that is not only on the mobile app but is also on the TradeStation desktop to send feedback to us and say, hey, this tool could be better if it did this or it did that. Hey, this thing is broken, or this need can be better. Whatever the feedback is, we're always welcoming it, and we want you guys to provide that feedback to us.
yeah. I mean, listen, I remember you guys did that event in where they cut everyone's hair. Remember that? What was it?
Oh yeah, the fresh look, I think it was
Fresh
called.
Blood.
Yes.
That was really, really cool. I got a nice
I think
lag.
you painted your hair blue that time, right?
Yep, I painted my. I think every yeah. No, no, no. Actually, I did not do that. He says I can't walk around with blue hair. It was to think I would have blended in New York anyway, so it'd have been fine.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, blue hair. But no, you had that huge booth, and I did like a little traders challenge there too. And
yes.
one thing I thought was really cool, I think you launching was the app that you had there, which you brought up. Which, by the way, I think a lot of people don't neglect it. But you have a great app. I mean, you
Mhm,
got the matrix on that thing. I mean, like it is so advanced.
mhm.
So is there any improvements that are coming that people should be looking forward to on that TradeStation with that app or anything else?
The mobile app you're
Yeah.
talking about? Yeah, sure. I mean, we have a whole team dedicated to improving that. Recently we went through a whole overhaul of the TradeStation mobile app. Recently, about a couple weeks ago, a few weeks ago, I think it was launched on the Android side. So anybody that uses TradeStation on the Android most likely was thrown into this new look and feel of the TradeStation mobile app. But it's something that is continuously being enhanced, continuously being monitored, and making sure that we listen to the feedback and apply it to the platform as soon as we can. So just keep on, providing that feedback through the app. I know the product managers are listening to that.
Good, good, good. And how did they get to that the feedback link on there? Where is that located?
I have
Is
my
it on the
phone.
website or on the actual execute? It's on the actual execution system.
Depending on which one you're using. If you're on the mobile app on your phone, let me just go here for a moment. Support, yes. When you go to the more button at the bottom, there's going to be a section that says support, and then you can provide feedback. There's also on the desktop, if you're on the desktop, you can go to the apps menu, and you'll find a feedback button there. You click it, and it opens a little bit of a form where you can report a bug, or you can report an enhancement suggestion, anything you want to communicate to our developers.
Are you planning to bring back the App Store, by the way?
I don't think so. I mean, I haven't
Okay.
heard anything about the trading app store.
I
No.
know a lot of people will really they like that App Store, but yeah, I mean it's
It,
I
it, pro-
guess
it, pro- it provided a way for users to get access to third-party indicators and third-party ideas and things that are not part of the platform. Um, a lot of contributions are being made on the forums that are custom indicators that you can import into your TradeStation platform. They may not be, to the level of the trading app store, because the trading app store, of course, you are being charged for these products. All the products that you find on the forums are free, but a lot of TradeStation users that are developers that create their own custom indicators and strategies, they're sharing those indicators and strategies in the forums, and anybody can go in there and import them into their own trade stations.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's only so much you could offer to all these apps,
Yeah.
and listen, and there's so many bells and whistles that you could only do. But maybe you could share us really quick. You could you could just share the TradeStation platform and just show us exactly where the feedback or any questions. I mean, listen, when the concierge kicks in, I mean, even be better than that. But
Yes, sure, I can. Let me just because I disconnected myself when I try to log into my. Okay, there we go. Let me see if I can share my screen. There we go. Share screen. Select. Okay, give me entire screen. All right, are you able to see it?
yeah, there we go.
So I need. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, so this is my trade station. So this is a blank workspace, but you can see that on the apps menu, you have this feedback button at the top. And if you click it, it opens up a web form that allows you to either suggest a feature here on the left-hand side or report a bug. So yes, use this as many times as you want to, and as many times as you want to send suggestions, and those will go directly to our product managers.
All right. That's it. So it goes right there. Now, one of the big things I teach on a platform, and maybe you could kind of just briefly show just how you look at it, the way I look at it, but the matrix. I
Yeah.
mean, like one of the big things that I do is following orders, and I try to get people to just start out to understand how to use just NASDAQ Book Viewer. I do a lot of presentations on NASDAQ, and one of the big things I talk about on their show is their book viewer, and it's a very inexpensive way of starting off, and you do get it on here. But what makes this thing a little bit more unique for everyone is that you're not just getting NASDAQ, there's other exchanges out there. This is why I love the direct access part of TradeStation. You get EDGX, you can get, Archipelago and all that. And I think a lot of people neglect and don't realize how valuable this tool is. But like, if you've been following us on all our Instagrams and our YouTubes and TikToks, like I did a video yesterday on Apple, and it went viral about a million share seller at $200, and people looked at it like, really, you could see that on here,
Yes.
So yeah. But yeah, if you could basically kind of just show a little bit more about how it works.
Yes, correct. Let me show you just the different types of data that you can access through the TradeStation matrix. This is right here. This is when you log into the client center and you want to add data packages. Once you get here to equity and options data, let me go ahead and edit here so you can see it in more detail. So if I go to US market data, and I go here to equity and equity options data, you can see that this breaks down level 2 data into multiple levels. And as a trader, you can choose, how much data you want to receive on your trade station. There's a total view data, level 1, level 2, but then every specific ECN or market maker, many of them have branched into their own entity. For example, BATS, NASDAQ, ARCA, those are different books that you can have access to, and you can, check them independently or check them all if you want to see the full market depth. But this is just an a la carte menu of all the different market makers, ECNs that provide this type of information, and you'll be able to see it on your matrix.
And how much are the fees there? Just really quick.
Well, right here, everything's marked free because I'm logged into my personal training account.
I'm like, I didn't even do
Yes, this is not free, by the way. Yes, yeah, this is an educational login. It doesn't have all the fees associated with them. But if you log into the client center yourself and you go here to this page, you'll see exactly what each one of those fees are going to be.
Yeah, they're not that expensive, everyone. I mean, listen, I used to pay like $1,000 just to get one of them. Now you're paying like $15, $10. Um, it's just part of doing business. And like, listen, I always have this thing, Jesus, I tell everyone, if you can't afford $10, you can't afford to trade. You know what I mean? Like, but this guy does it for free. I'm like, how do they make money? I mean, like, there's nothing free in this industry. The exchanges charge you for it, but when you see the value of it, it pays for itself.
For sure, yes. Well, this is the matrix. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure that many people that are listening in and are familiar with this. But a quick overview of what we're looking at. The prices right here in the middle are the prices. This is AT&T, by the way. We see
Bring up Apple, by the way. I don't want you to use AT&T. We don't care about AT&T.
That is funny. Okay, so this is Apple right here. Apple is the fast moving stock. A lot of times, if this gets very wild, you'll see the price jumping up and down and really tough to follow. Fausto, let me ask you something. Do you ever use access increment on high priced stocks, or is that something you don't use at all? Access increment being the little button here at the top, this one right here.
No, not necessarily. Maybe you can explain to me. Maybe you teach me something.
No,
I just kind of just work off the one you have on the left.
Oh, access increment is beneficial and it could work against you also. So I wanted to, introduce this feature by saying that. But this controls the way that the prices here are listed. Of course, they're listed in 1 penny increments. But a lot of times, if you're trading higher priced stocks, you may want to increase the way that the prices are displayed by either increasing it by 2, 3, 4, or 5. If I set it to 0.05, then you can see the prices here are listed in 5 increments. A lot of times, I do that if I'm setting stops and targets that I don't see on my matrix because of the way that the prices are extended. And sometimes I do that just to condense the view a little bit. But of course, if you do that, you lose access to the detailed pricing.
No, that actually, could you do an increments of dollars?
Sure, you can just type in $1 here and
put $1 in there. I want to see what it looks like.
Oh, not 114, just one, right? There we go. This is $1 increment.
Okay. So
when you place trades using $1 increment, any order you place here will be at the exact, dollar that you see here, the price that you see here. So if you trade, round numbers, then you could probably see a benefit to this. For example, I can set an entry at 190, which would be difficult if I were doing it with a 1 penny increments because I would have to scroll down all the way down to 190.
Mm-hmm.
But if I wanted to do like an OSO and do, for example, a $10 limit with a $5 stop, and then I set my order here at 190, then you can see that order in place altogether. You see the entry with the exits.
Right.
If this was, at a 1 penny, then you have your entry all the way down here. I'm not even sure if it'll show it.
But it's basically it's an easy way to filter out, all the, when it gets too, gets too bunched up.
Yeah, for sure. And also what it does, it also adds up the market depth as well. So if you do 5 penny increments, it will add, from 60 to 65 into one row.
Okay.
Right.
I don't know if you heard about this, but we were talking about it yesterday, and I was really, disappointed if it really happens. I don't know if you heard about it, but they're saying within the next month or so, they're gonna change the spreads to tenths of a penny. I mean, like right now, you see anything under $1. But did you hear anything about that? That they're gonna move it where anything on like $5, $10, $20, where it's like a penny spread. Now they're gonna do tenths of a penny.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like, I think Adam was saying that. I'm like, really? I'm like, why would they do that? I mean, I know why they would do that because they just want to make more money, more volume, whatever, like trade within that penny spread. But like, geez, we went from, you remember the days we were at fractions back then, and we went to decimals. That was
Yeah, it just seems weird that we are gonna, carry another decimal place. It just doesn't look right?
No,
it just adds to the complexity, right? I mean, why would you want to do that? Yeah. I mean,
Well,
I can understand if you're trading like really high priced stocks, but for the most part, the big players are around between 100 and 500, right? Or
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's gonna
yeah,
really screw up the whole book.
yeah, I
It's
agree.
really gonna screw up the whole book.
I agree.
All right, so anything we got to look forward to with TradeStation that's coming up?
Functionality wise, as I said before, we're doing a lot of work making sure that the platforms are robust. We are, as you heard yesterday, we are working on a web based version that is going to replace our web trading platform. We are also working on providing users a better experience when they go to the client center. I'm not sure if you've been to the client center recently, but it looks like you're entering Yahoo in the 1990s.
Yeah.
But we are doing a lot of overhaul in that area so that when you log into the client center, you have all the pieces you need. You want to make sure that you have an eye on your account, what your profitability is, what your positions are, and we want to make sure that we have that for in the front, for you to access and see. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I want to share something with everyone because just do a quick little recap of something right here. Let me share the screen. And let me put this out. Oops, don't want to X you out. There you go. There we go. Oops, wrong one. There we go. So anyway, yeah, TradeStation, we have a promo with them. Just let everybody know that I'm really looking forward to it. Just give the link up there. If you're looking to get in TradeStation or if you're a student at TradeStation, I know they're going to be giving me a direct number to a specific client purpose to get that concierge server. So if anyone here is interested in learning more or just demoing the platform, there's the link. We just posted up there on the right-hand side. And basically just click request info right here, and we'll get you registered for it and get access to that concierge service. I really think that's great. I mean, a lot of people here, Jesus, they last thing you want to be in a phone call
Mm-hmm.
and get stuck in a position.
Mm-hmm.
And believe me, this happened to me a couple of times because I have several accounts. I try not to mix my swing trading accounts with my options, which you could do with all of it. But I have different accounts with different. I mean, I'm a custodian to my nephews and nieces, so I kind of keep things separate. But last thing I want to do is get stuck with a brokerage firm. You can't answer the phone, and by the time you want to get through that call, it's like number 9 on the keyboard.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And these things tanking on you and whatever it is, then you're on hold. But yeah, that concierge service is worth every single penny. You know what I mean? And you don't realize how valuable until you actually have that problem. But
who likes contacting support? That's one of the things that I dread all the time. Having to call a team of people to help you, and and it's tough because a lot of times you get these recordings that just get you into an endless loop of recordings, and you have to have an automated answer, and it's just a terrible user experience. So yes, I dread every time that I have to call support. So having a direct line where you just call somebody and somebody picks up the phone, I think it's valuable, very valuable.
It's worth everything. Hopefully, it doesn't have everybody has that problem, but I always tell everyone, what the best insurance is? The one you don't have to use. Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
That's the best insurance. But people so but when it does happen, you'd be shocked. By the way, just let everybody know when you're on that page, I did do a matrix video. Actually, it's one of my top 5 most viewed videos on YouTube. So if you want to know how I use it for beginners, when you're on that page, you can click on this link right here, a YouTube link, and you guys can watch how we use the matrix on that too. But with that said, Jesus, listen, thanks for coming. We are going to be this has been recorded, so if you guys want to watch it a little bit later, we'll have it up in there in the next couple of days. We'll have a couple of little highlights of it. We'll have a couple of shorts made from it. So if you want to kind of get some highlights and some features and of what we talked about, definitely look forward to having you guys all here. So Jesus, once again, it's always been a pleasure. Love working with you. Got to have you back. And we got to have you back, and we got to get together all these new things that are going on. We got to get more people on the TradeStation platform to understand why direct access is so important.